Hey everyone, back with another tutorial. So I wanted to talk this time about a cool trick or a tip that I have used in the past to manage peaks. It's actually pretty nifty, and if you ever find yourself not being able to sort of manage your peaks, this is a really good tip for you. Now, the question is, why would you manage your peaks? Well, sometimes when you're trying to compress something or you're trying to cut off, I guess, too much information, it's sometimes good because a sound in itself is the consistent sound. And sometimes we'll have these peaks, which can get frustrating, and they kind of just, add a little bit more to the mix than it should. And with a good mix, like you have so many elements, especially in trance, that it's kind of like a death by 1,000 cuts where there's so much going on. You want to try to reduce as much information as possible. So a cool trick that we actually discovered a long time ago. I'm just going to grab the Ableton limiter. I'm going to show you this, especially for your mid basses. So let's go ahead. Now this is the main bass of the mid bass. So I'm just going to solo this one for a second. I'm just going to play this. And if you know in Ableton, you'll see that this is actually the peak meter. You can reset it and it'll show you the peak. So minus 18.1, minus 17.7, that's the peak. And if you look here, you'll see that this is your RMS here, and then this is your peak volume. You see it's kind of bouncing around there, but really you're pretty much hearing this most of the time, and everything else is kind of noise. But sometimes you want to reduce that noise. It'll help with compression. It'll help with, just making a cleaner mix overall. So what you want to do in this case is you want to grab the limiter and you just want to bring the ceiling down until you start seeing little bits of peaks coming through that will start limiting. So just going to grab this and pull it down while we play the sound, and you'll know what we're talking about. So let's start it. Now you see that there? Do you see how it only activates sometimes and catches the peaks when they happen? Now, if we feel like we want to give it a bit more of an effect, see, there we go. It's catching the peaks nicely. So if we turn this off, now you can't hear that much difference, and that's the thing. You're actually removing some information while making it overall much cleaner sound. Now the compressors that you've got on top of this will actually take note, because these sounds are getting sound is getting limited and the peaks are being cut. The compressor, basically, when you're trying to balance the sound, will have to do less. So let's go ahead and apply that to all of our mid basses. And just for now, I'm going to turn off the compressors on the mid bass channel, and I'm just gonna actually learned this trick from Bjorn Atkinson, so really good tip there. So let's just go ahead and reset that and do it again. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now let's go ahead and do it here. And finally, let's do it on the last one. this is a more consistent sound, but because the retrig's on. But yeah, now let's go ahead and play this. And I kind of want to, I see this one here, it's kind of still got a lot of highs and peaks, so maybe I'll just bring that down a little bit more. Level that off a little bit. Just always look at these indicators. There we go. So much nicer. So we'll reset the compressor here. This one is to actually do the RMS compression. So root mean square, which is so less sensitive to short peaks. It responds a little bit more slowly, and you're able to just balance out the sound and bring out those that ratio between your highs and your low, your highest peak volumes and your lowest peak volumes is definitely more balanced in this one. So I'm just going to bring it up again. There we go. And now let's just do a final one with this one to catch the peaks. Yeah, that's nice. And to be honest, I don't even think I really want this compressor anymore, because now that I've managed the sounds out and I've used this compressor, I think that's enough. So let's go ahead and play it back and listen to what it sounds like in the mix. And you'll notice before it was actually at about 13. And it just didn't sound like it sat properly. Now, because you've cleared up the unnecessary sound in the mix, you can actually boost this a little bit because now you can hear the true sound and actually mix that in properly. So sounds nice. So use that trick on your mid basses, especially. You can use it on like your acids if you feel like they're peaking too high and there's too many peaks, and really good for like balancing sounds without using a compressor that are like peaking and ducking a lot. So yeah, really cool tip. Leave it for there for today, and I'll see you in the next one.